Hey, welcome to Morning Jams on the Porch with Stephen Leake. I'm Stephen. This is our New Year's Day broadcast, I guess, and we had quite a year, y'all. I mean, realistically speaking, me and like people around me, we've gotten more done in just since March of 2025 than I ever thought I'd do in one lifetime. So just first of all, like, just stop and like appreciate what we've already done. And it's put us in a position where we got a wide open future ahead of us. And it's getting cold, and I'm gonna tomorrow. I do three of these a week generally, and I'm gonna try to get an indoor space cleaned up. They can achieve what the porch has done for us, and then when it gets warmer, we'll come back to the porch. But I've got my studio. I call it Sovereign Sound Studio. We'll do it from there. I've got already set up. It's like a living room where I have people, where like my friends come over. We'll just do it from there, starting tomorrow, and we'll do this last one from the porch of the season. Unless like just people like just beg for it or something, you know what I mean? Like I will come back on the porch. It's not too much for me to put on a jacket or something and do it, but you bring the porch back, so don't worry about that. But we need another kind of venue for cold weather. We'll figure that out. Got a new guitar, a Christmas present from my mom and dad. I'll be damned if I don't have a pick with me. I've been playing catch up all day. I didn't even get my scheduled New Year's thing done. I had to do something this morning. I totally crashed and just slept through it. So let me go get a pick, and we'll get started. First, let me get me a smoke in, of course. I don't know why they say these things are bad for you. I'm in like perfect health. Alright. These are brand new picks I got for Christmas. The picks I've had for last year are like distributed among this property in some way. I can't find any more of them. But we'll use purple wood snow on. So I can go get store, get some Dunlap or Martin half millimeter. And hell man, what a year, man, honestly. 2025, that was awesome. Let's do it again sometime. If I could only like get a proper self-care routine down, I'd be golden. We've got our pick on the tea box. I don't know if you've seen this. It's one of this video. Orange spice tea. I don't know why. I have it here. I like it. I don't like. This is kind of how I do stuff. Gives me like words to say, that like mean something to like my own system. That's all really you have to have either. I'm gonna burn some incense. Get our visual time going. Our visual clock gives me a reference of like what the pace we've done is. Make sure to do that reasonably within the starting period. I've got a decent amount of battery. My microphone's on. My camera's on. I'm feeling good. I'm putting my lighter that my mom used to light an incense candle. Not incense candle. What do you call it? Just a regular candle in my living room back there. I got it back on my leash. That's good. I'm lighting the incense. We're starting off right, I think. I've had stuff happen in like the background of my life that would have been necessary for me to move to the next phase. That's happened. I'm feeling good right now. I always to say that the reason I do this also is like back in the 50s and 60s, like the old school broadcasters like smoked cigarettes on camera, just not because they like loved cigarettes, but because it created like an air of mystique and some ambiance between like the camera and the anchor. I like love borrowing good ideas. Good ideas are good ideas regardless. So that's the model I would have if I was running the country. That's the model I would have for my administration. The best idea wins, but not like a Silicon Valley way that gets like immediately sidelined to bullshit. It would actually be written in smart contract as part of I'll put that into my AI's logic, which I've already done. You can smoke if you want in my office. My office is whatever it would be. Like I'm no like moral police here. I'm physically dependent on medication. What the fuck is the difference between cigarettes and like narcotic pain medication or anything else that people have to take to live reasonable lives? Like who am I to judge another person, man? You do what's good for you. I'm not here to be your boss, man. You're a grown-ass adult. You take care of yourself. I would assume you would like to, if you extend that to me, that's all I need for a happy society, really. I don't have, my battery's dead. I'm just like catching up, really. So I didn't have like a specific program like written out for today's. I was going to do a special otherwise, but I've got a new guitar. My lyrics are not here, but I can do something with my poetry. I always keep that right there on the boards of my porch. I've been doing some other stuff with that clipboard. It's okay. You can always just improvise, do something else. If you honestly have fans, they're not going to care. They would like to see something different, I'm assuming. You can do that. That's no problem. I don't have a specific verse picked out for today. I'll show you something. We just go looking. We'll see if something jumps out of us. That's kind of how this thing's set up, I think. This is the way I go about it. But I usually carry a pocket New Testament on me for like ad hoc emergencies. That's a real thing, I think, for like moral alignment, right? That's just like how I live. Here's one. Just jumping out at me right here. Isaiah 2. The church shall be restored by Christ, and the Gentiles called the punishment of the rebellious and obstinate. Okay, you can live with that. That's nothing too harsh. Like, don't be like. It's basically proven with my own mathematics and physics that the Christian worldview is like the most accurate representation of reality. I can prove that in math. Before, I didn't have like the necessary kind of like resources to be able to do that without being called a nut job or like a Jesus freak or whatever you want to put it. But like I have mathematics, you can't argue with math, you can't sue math. So there. And let's do a old school naked shadow boxing day. How about that? Dust off the original stuff. A throwback, if you will, for New Year's Day. Fit for New Year's. Open up to the first thing. Now I do have like stamps. I put in all my stuff, and I have like a personal library. It's like the most expensive thing I own is my library. These are my stamps, my signature. I don't know, it's just something I do. You don't have to do anything what I do. I'm just saying that's just my thing. We the Living. This is from an Ayn Rand novel title called We the Living. To pull so voraciously apart the threads of existence, this love, the testament thus far to the gift of life, and blaspheme with every breath for some comfort in destruction, some witty innuendo to dare God's stare, stands as a smug bastion of those who've never lived in death, as whimperings of a soul not yet reveled by substance, could never endure the pangs of those who tread the fringe. Imagine a life with no obsession, listless and bitter as those left behind, who can live yet not die in the arms of their widows, not afraid or humble but indifferent. We the living have no tangible memento to ease the crescendo of want, only waiting with promises, with that cordial grace of ending faces shining kindly still, with no ethereal receipt. The promise, a synergy of that energy we call the soul, so brazen, beyond fear, so exponentially vivacious, transcendent of all. There is no end to that which never began. But has remained a singularity over the ages. No passion of warm ember of dying hearts knows of such a kingdom in which we live. We too refuse heaven, for a kingdom beyond our own judgment, of light blinding as supernovas blossom at our feet, now, then, and forever, as it always has been, this cosmic vibration, this love recycled ad infinitum, a tyrant, no doubt, and the weakness to bend, to cower in awe of the gift of choice, to the expanse of questions renders you senile, and the sanctity of truth dries your lust. We the living can do only that. We continue together. Quite fitting, I think. That's page 27, as it were, of Naked Shadow Box. And as far as I know, you can get that on Amazon. Let's make sure I have that connected to it, like a functioning bank account. Doing all that kind of stuff, it's by one person is maddening, and there's no way you keep up with it. You just kind of gotta trust in the systems that are there, or it would never work. Anyway, let's play some music. I'm gonna do some improv. The improv and the being. This is kind of what I've explained to my dad. My mom made some kind of mistake in charging some random necessary item to a card that she shouldn't have. And I was that's kind of the way that you force the universe to improvise in that moment, and it creates opportunities for you on down the road. It's just a physical fact. It's kind of how God slips in there, some dynamic improvisation. Never killed anybody. I'm gonna run to where I have it dog-eared on my Truth is Power notebook or binder or whatever. This is called Holding Zero. I'm gonna play it to the music of Knock Champa. Still tuned pretty well from my friend Woody at Woody's Music in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Go give them some business. They're really nice to me, and they never had. I go mar up their good guitars, being a clumsy jackass every time I'm in there. So they're good people. Zero of our future, the friction, the wild and organic world. Evolves. Oh, that's cool. I've always been a big fan of Bright Eyes, just from acoustic singer-songwriter standpoint. That dude's badass. Connor Oberst. I've never realistically been a part of any kind of music scene anywhere. I do shit from my front porch. That's the only way I can do it. I don't have the time to go be touring around. Though I have talked about a tour. I even got a name. Carolina Roots. It's a homelessness awareness tour. I go about a tour in the most cheap way possible, and I post basically make a video diary of everything, make it a module in Monarch X. We do it that way. Have a way you can like you can fund me from the road. It's gonna be tied to like one, like either my Cash App or like a burner debit card. That's how people like me like get by and live. Like nobody with like $1,000 a month to get to use can realistically afford a bank account. I mean that should make anyone angry that has to live that, but people don't really think about that unless it affects them. I mean, honestly speaking, that's how human nature works. Anybody, unless you live that reality, you don't really care about it. But it's the lived experience of like millions of people. You're right here in the richest country on earth. And I'm pretty sure that's by design. Something like that doesn't happen is like a bug of such a design system. Sparkling amethyst daydream, keeping true to the visions, rolling the grass, it's our toddler and dog. A new age utopia of our own making, the fading glory of a rapture of declining return, like fluttering digits doomsday clock. Anyway. I'm hoping that's fireworks. I've been hearing the weirdest kind of shit around me today. I'm assuming it's like January 1st and that's just like New Year's fireworks, but it's like the most random shit. Anyway. I did say something about light through the pines, didn't I? Just read a poem from that collection. If this is your first day listening to me, I'll read you the bio off of Light Through the Pines, my second collection. Just to give you an introduction of like my basic bio. Stephen Leake, me, was born in Charlotte, North Carolina in 1986 to two public school teachers. He grew up with his family farm outside of York, South Carolina, where he was a three-sport athlete in high school. He won an appointment to the United States Military Academy at West Point as part of the first post-9/11 class in 2004, but had to withdraw for health reasons. In 2007, he was a semi-finalist for the Penn Emerging Voices Fellowship. He is currently working on his first novel and lives in Calabash, North Carolina. That was where I actually wrote my novel Gethsemane. That is up at StephenLeake.com. It's my second novel ever. I wrote one in high school, basically, my senior year of high school. It's basically a teenage fantasy. It's nothing great, but it's available as like a special edition kind of bonus thing I hand out to like people that are special to me. And that's my general thing, man. I spent the pandemic like just getting pissed off every day at the news I was hearing and about like what was going on and just writing a book. That's all I did in the pandemic. And I finally found like a adult friend that like was reasonably intelligent and I got along with, that like was realistic about the world and like how like 40-year-old middle-aged people would like help each other during hard times, and it wasn't too much of a like beat me over the head with whatever her shit was. We had a realistic relationship during a hard time. I mean, sue me. And there's nothing I wouldn't expect any other guy to do. It's kind of our reason for existing. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. You know, what's the point of having a life if you can't enjoy it? I think that's something to do with like the reason that like anything like nothing good and fun is not ridiculously expensive, and things that are fun and ruinous are cheap as fuck, like gambling and like alcohol, things like that. There's a reason it's like that. It shouldn't be, but it is, and that's the reality that we wake up to January 1st, 2026. That's a gunshot. This is not a firework. I know what that is. Maybe you just squeezing some off to celebrate the new year. But, I mean, it's not uncommon. I live in the middle of the woods. Happens all the time. I do that myself all the time. Says everyone I know, all day, constantly. That's an American thing. I don't expect a European to understand that kind of logic. The entire South is like that. Once you get like 2 feet outside of a city limit, it is nothing but that. For illustrative purposes, there's my red redneck truck in my front yard. I'm not even kidding. It's like from the 90s, man.